Hello, dear students. In first lecture, we have discussed about the basic introductory history part of microbiology. Now, in this unit or this lecture, we will discuss about the what are the general characteristics of microorganisms and what are the different terminologies used to classify or to identify a particular group of organisms and how to uh, these organisms are differentiated from one another and what are the different characteristics we will use for the identification and classification of microorganisms. So in this lecture, we will start this with the proper basic classification system and how they are classified. So firstly, we will discuss about the general principle about bacteria and how the classification system has developed. We will discuss. So bacteria are single cell microorganisms with prokaryotic cells. So when we talk about the bacteria, they are normally we talk bacteria prokaryotic unicellular organism. That means they have a single cell uh, structure and they are in prokaryotic in nature, which are single cell lacking organelles or a true nucleus and are less complex than eukaryotic cells. So basically, when we discuss about the living forms of microorganisms or living forms, we talk about prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So in case of eukaryotic cells, all the organelles are properly arranged or organized inside the cell and the structure is well defined. In case of bacteria, the organelles are not highly developed. In case they are also nucleus is not completely developed, so that's why we can say they are cell lacking organelles or a true nucleus. That means the proper nucleus are not developed as compared to the eukaryotic. Bacteria with a capital B, that means B stand for bacteria, is refers to the, it is stand for the domain bacteria. It is again one of the group of classification system, that is domain, and that is bacteria, one of the three domain of life. Then when we are classifying the living forms into three domain classification system, so one of the domain is bacteria, another domain is archaea, and another domain is eukaryota. So these organisms are classified on the basis of their cellular structural cellular organization. So B stands for bacteria, one of the three domain of life. Other two domains, as we have talked, archaea, that is single cell organism with prokaryotic cells, and eukaryota, it is a third domain which is multicellular organism. So depending upon the structural organization, these organisms are classified into prokaryotic or eukaryotic organisms. Bacteria are extremely numerous, and the total biomass of bacteria on Earth is more than all plants and animals combinedly. So that means when we talk about the microorganisms or in case of bacteria, they are extremely numerous on Earth, we can say. And the total biomass of bacteria on Earth is more than to that of the plants and animals combinedly. So it is a general statement. That means bacteria are present everywhere and total biomass of that bacteria are more than that of the total counting of plants and animals. So on this statement, we can you can imagine how the number of microorganisms or we can say bacteria are present on Earth. So according to some research or references, we can say bacteria are first arose on Earth approximately 4 billion years ago. So according to research, we have considered that it is proven that bacteria approximately arose on the first organism arose on the Earth about 4 billion years ago, and we are first form of life on the Earth, and it is a first form of living form on the Earth. Around 3 billion years, bacteria and archaea were the most prevalent kind of organism on Earth till multicellular eukaryote did not appear until around 1.6 to 2 billion years ago. So before uh, appearance of multicellular eukaryotic organism, Archaea and bacteria, these are the predominant type of organisms which are present abundantly on the earth. So in this diagram, we will see a three-domain classification system where we have discussed in last slide, that is bacteria, archaea, and eukaryota. So depending upon their characteristics, cellular organization, they are categorized into three domains, and they share a common ancestor, that is universal ancestor, we can say. Bacteria are classified and identified to distinguish one organism from another and to group similar organisms by criteria of interest to microbiologists or other scientists. So as we talk about the microorganisms, as they share the common universal ancestor and they have some similar characteristics as well. Apart from that, there are different characteristics they can share, and some of the common characters also they can share. So with respect to their differences, they are categorized into first domain, that is bacteria, another is archaebacteria, or we can say archaea, and third is eukaryota. So these are eukaryotic cellular organism. These are archaea found in extreme environment, and these are prokaryotic unicellular organism. So with respect to how they are evolved, these diagram are developed, and apart from that, they share some common characteristics. So with this, that classification system are based. Now, before moving forward, we have to discuss or we have to know about the different terminologies which can be used for the classification system, or we can say taxonomy. It is again a branch of science which is used for the classification and proper arrangement of different organisms into their proper position. So before moving forward, we have to know what are the different terminologies we use in case of taxonomy. So what is meant by taxonomy? It is a branch of science of naming, defining, and classifying group of biological organisms on the basis of their shared characteristics. So it is again a one specialized branch of science which deals with the naming. That means by proper arranging, proper study of that particular organism is carried out, and after that, that particular organism is placed in a particular group of organism and given a particular name that is unique to that particular organism. So it is a work of taxonomist, we can say, who is specialized of that branch, that is taxonomy. So it branch deals with the naming of that particular organism, defining and classifying group of biological organisms on the basis of their characteristics, either external characteristics or other characteristics they have studied. These organisms either having a similar characteristics, they are placed in a similar group. If they are different from one another on the basis of their cellular organization, they are categorized into different groups. And these all type of defining and classifying of that organism is carried out by that branch and is a taxonomy. Another terminology we can use is classification. What is meant by classification? So it is nothing but a ordering of organism on the basis of their sheer properties in a particular taxon. So again, here one term comes, that is taxon. It is again a one group of that organism or major group of taxa, we can say. So in the classification, we can properly arrange that organism where we have already studied that characteristics of that organism, and by using that, we can classify that organism among them, or we can organize that particular organism in that particular classification system. Another terminology, that is nomenclature. What is meant by nomenclature? It is nothing but a naming of that organism, but it's not a simple as we talk. It is completely naming. So they have a proper protocol how to given a particular name to that organism, and for nomenclature of that organism, there are some rules. So they have to be followed so that proper nomenclature of that particular organism can be carried out. Nomenclature is nothing but it is concerned with the assignment of name taxonomic groups in agreement of published rule. So before giving any name to particular organism, it should be um, uh, consider that that organism should not be reported previously, or that organism has not given a name previously, so that that organism becomes a novel organism, and by following the different rules which can be used for the classification system. A particular name is given to that organism with their similarity and dissimilarity study. So it is carried out by the means of, or we can say it is nomenclature system. Third terminology, that is identification. What is meant by identification? Here we are giving a identity to that particular organism. It is a process of obtaining data on the properties of organism, that is characterization, determination, uh, which species belong to based on the direct comparison to know taxonomic group. So by using that different classification nomenclature identification system, we can identify that particular organism and giving a particular name to that organism. So it is a different terminologies we can use in case of classification system. Next point is clarism. We will discuss in next lecture.